245 reports of bullying in school, and that's just in one fall semester.
Yeah, your child may have been one of those victims. Each report of bullying is investigated in New Hanover County schools. Those 245 reports turned into 106 confirmed cases. In tonight's special report, WECT's Bailey Hicks looks at how those investigations are handled.
As a dad, I was hurt, nobody wants to see their kid hurt.
Jared Payton says hearing that his 10-year-old daughter was being bullied was heart-wrenching.
Friends ganging up on her, harassing, nudging her, pushing her, stepping on her feet.
Anytime a child perceives that they are being bullied, they take that seriously.
Trained staff investigate each and every bullying report that comes in.
Most campuses have anywhere from 3 to 5 investigators, but there are investigators on every campus in New Hanover County schools.
To report bullying, teachers, parents, or even students can go online and fill out this form.
They tell us what's basically happening, who's involved, where is it happening, when is it happening, and they sign off on it.
Once it's turned into the front office, the clock starts ticking.
We do have 72 hours to initiate the investigation.
Each investigator interviews anyone and everyone involved.
Interviewing the victim, interviewing the offender.
We obviously try our best to keep it confidential so they don't know who the report's coming from.
You're going to talk to several bystanders.
Anybody else that may have been involved, if there were teachers or other students who were witness to it.
Filling out this form as they go.
Sometimes when all the pieces of the puzzle come together, you see something that you might not see otherwise.
At the end, they determine if it's bullying or not.
You would be surprised. Through those investigations, you usually can get a big picture for what's going on.
To be bullying, she says there has to be a pattern.
I don't necessarily have the right to call it bullying that first time.
And there has to be an imbalance of power.
You feel like you're kind of on the other side of the teeter-totter and you can't get off.
Of the 400 bullying investigations that took place last school year, a little less than half confirmed that either bullying or harassment were taking place.
Our percentages of confirmed bullying are somewhat low in comparison to our reporting and the investigations that are done, and that's really a good thing. Schools that have high reporting tend to have lower incidents of fighting and aggressive behavior because students are still asking for adult help.
I err on the side of caution. Sometimes they're not saying, I want this written up as a bully report, but I go ahead and write it up as such, just so that I can establish those patterns.
Completed reports are turned over to an administrator, like Deanna Leek, the assistant principal at Murray Middle School. If the investigation confirms that bullying took place, what happens next
Varies case by case.
In every case, they'll meet with the victim at least twice.
We do mediation, we do counseling, we try to teach them strategies for coping with those things, how to effectively and appropriately advocate for themselves.
And they'll meet at least twice with the bully.
Typically, those students who are involved in bullying are experiencing difficulties of their own, whether those are difficulties at school or difficulties at home, socially with their peers or possibly family. So we try to get to the root of the problem. We continue to follow up to make sure that that student feels like they have someone that they can go to in the building that they trust, an adult that they can talk to whenever they get to the point where they're feeling that frustrated.
Schedules can be changed, and as far as consequences go,
while they are punitive in nature, we try to also make them corrective in nature. Our main goal is to correct the behavior.
Even if it's not bullying,
we still deal with it, we still handle it.
Following up and even counseling both the victim and the accused.
Sometimes we check that box as not bullying because it's not been repeated, even though the behavior was bad. So we'll take that opportunity to put it down as a warning, and then we'll do some education with that person that was bothering the victim and help them to kind of develop some empathy.
If it's not bullying, it's usually more so conflict.
A conflict is usually a one-time situation, or
it was usually a back and forth. So when it's back and forth, that's usually no one student has more power over the other. That's usually something that I'll mediate with the two students about.
Let's say two kids were friends. One got invited to another friend's birthday party and the other didn't. The next day at school, the one who got invited to the party is talking to the new friends. And the other friend says, why didn't I get invited to the party? And they get into a disagreement about it. That's usually conflict. It becomes bullying when then that new friend with her new group of friends began to tease and taunt and humiliate the other student.
Jared Payton says all the meetings made a difference for his daughter.
They sat down with both of the girls and they talked it out, and I guess they had certain plan for them to take to try to smooth out the situation.
She ended up moving to a different classroom.
My daughter's doing, better than ever. She's happy. I feel like they actually care.
Now, the goal is to always make the victim feel safe. Another option available to students is a stay away agreement in which both students agree to stay away from each other while on school grounds from the start of the day to the end of the day.